How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the DmtsRadio Radio Show. Today we are sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. I got my one and only Connecticut's finest. He reps Connecticut on his back. Rookct. How's it going,
bro.
man?
Good. How's
Good
everything?
to sit with you, man.
Thank you for having me.
My boy right here?
Trey.
We got Trey in the house. Trey is on the project, the new EP. Moving pictures.
Moving pictures.
Dope. So today we just gonna get into some, your life story. I want to go through the process of you growing up, where you from, and let people know, what you about.
Cool. Yeah. So I was born in Bridgeport Hospital, and then moved around a little bit. Like my father was starting his own company, a painting company at the time. So we were just bouncing around. I lived in New Haven for a little bit, then in Milford. Then I went to high school in North Haven. Graduated from there, and then I went straight to college in Florida right after I graduated. And I had originally went down there for business. I was gonna just take over my pops' business type shit.
The painting company.
Yeah. So that was kind of just the plan. And but I was already kind of dabbling with video here and there in high school. I took a class because I thought it was gonna be easy. So I'm like, you get to watch movies all day. Why not? You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. So, but then I just started I had a little camera, and we was just messing around doing shit for fun. And so halfway through I was going through school, maybe halfway through my first semester there, I was like, yo, fuck it, let me see if they got some little film little credits that I could take just for fun or whatever. And I went to the guy in the building, the film teacher there. And he happened to be Italian, which was good because I'm Italian. So it worked out. I was like,
I can hear it too in your voice.
So so I was like, yo, I'm thinking about getting into film or taking some class or whatever. But I was like, but honestly, let me show you some of the stuff that I've done. Let me know if I'm even
ready.
Am I whack or am I? You know what I mean?
Give me just the truth, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I popped the stuff and just the stuff that I had done for fun in high school and stuff. And he was like, yo, this is one of the better things we've ever seen, from somebody applying to the school. So he was like, I think you should definitely switch. He was like, I'll skip you through some of the introductory classes. They even gave me a little bit of scholarship money and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. So I called back home hey, I'm gonna switch from business to film, and they're like, what? The fuck? Ain't no money in film. What are you gonna do with that shit? So there was a little bit of tension there for a little bit, but I was just, I was like, hey, if he's telling me I'm talented and I like to do it, why not at least explore it, just so I switched over.
Now before you go on any further, because this is real important, we get a lot of people who, as soon as their parents or anybody tell them that, go this way,
right?
And someone else tell them, you can do this, go this way. You decided to choose what he told you.
Yeah,
as opposed to your parents.
Right, and I think too it was I just kind of see how if things seem to come together, the fact that they were offering me money too was
yes.
They obviously mean, He's not just gassing me up for no reason. So I had a little bit of ground to stand on there, but yeah, definitely I kind of was just more on the level of I'm trying to do what I want to do.
That's good.
And I kept my minor in business. So I was look, I'm still taking business classes. Not you already know I'm already a business.
Win-win.
I had already, when I was 13, 14, I had already ran. I had my own car cleaning thing. I had this. So I was already. They knew how I was. Yeah. So I was always had money doing job. I was always doing stuff. So, but yeah. So I switched, and then I kind of was just my sophomore year of college, junior year of college. I was just rocking out doing films. I ended up just being one of the top kids there. We were doing films in school. We had gotten awards and stuff, and I was just rocking. And then for fun, so I was throwing parties too at my school. Just little, house parties, there would be 200-300 kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so me and my friends just started making music as not as a joke, but just for fun, party, college type. That was kind of when the whole, college party music first started coming around, Asher Roth and all that kind of stuff. So it was oh, fuck it. So we did a song for fun, and then it just ended up starting to play at all the parties, and people just kind of gravitated towards it. And so we just, I had somebody come to a party one time, and then this was kind of more towards the end, my later, junior or senior year in college. And somebody came to a party and came to me yo, what song is this? Because everybody was singing it, and I was like, oh, this is my shit. You know what I mean? I was drunk, just at the point. Yeah. So it was just, not even thinking anything of it. And then he was like, you know, he was like, yo, you know, I do music and this and that. And I always kind of was like, alright, whatever. I never really, because I was always rather just make some money, do my thing, like not really have to, like, I was like, if I come rap, like, there's no money for me. So he ended up actually, like, staying on me, and he came, came and pulled up on me one day and was like breaking it down, like, yo, I got an investor, like, we're gonna start this label, blah, 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 all this shit. So I'm like, alright, I'll think about it, you know, And then so I told him, like, kind of gave him what my terms would be, like, if y'all want me to just stay down here and rap, like, I had to have some type of, you know, stability or something, obviously. So there was contracts and all that, but so they ended up being like, they got a house that I stayed in, that, like, they copped the house, they put a studio in the house, and then I was basically able to live there with everything paid for, including, like, clothes, videos, the promo money, all that stuff was all paid for. I basically got signed to them. And
so this was at what
this was like right when I graduated college. I went straight to doing that. Like, I moved from my dorm into that house, and then it was like, all right. And then that was another phone call from my parents. Now I'm like, yo, here's the thing. Like, they had no idea I did music. So now I'm like, yo, I do music, and I'm just gonna live down here.
Video. Which one it is?
Like, yo, what are you doing? So at the end, it's just like, yo, you know, hey, do your thing, as long as you're safe. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but so moved into this house, was doing music, and it was cool. Like, I was doing shows, I was, like, getting played in the clubs down there, and I was on the radio. I was cool with the DJs. We were just moving. It was in West Palm Beach, so it wasn't like a massive market. It was a smaller. It was somewhat like, it would be like all of Connecticut, but it was that type of vibe. Like, it was small, but it was, Miami was like their New York. You know what I mean? So they were close to it. But anyway, so yeah, we was moving a little bit, and I just kind of noticed some bad things with the way the business was happening, and just, like, I was bringing a lot to the table, and I just didn't feel like the what they was providing was enough to justify, like, what, you know what I mean? So it kind of, like, I started to outgrow the situation where it was like, all right, look, I'm because I already had a bunch of people that I in college. From college, I already had hundreds of kids that would come out to anything I did. So it was like, I'm doing this, I have the plugs for this, I'm making the music, I can mix my own stuff, I can shoot my own videos. Like, I'm like, all you guys gotta do is provide me some cash, really. It got a little, like, business ended up just getting sour or whatever, and so I just kind of, like, saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, look, yo, you know, I'm gonna go home for the holidays, you know, see the fam, whatever. We'll come back, we'll regroup, we'll get this thing going, and, like, I just packed my whip and just left, took all my shit off their hard drive and just bounced. So they came to, like, yo, when are you coming? I was like, nah, I ain't coming back. Like, it was like, we'll figure out. I had a lawyer just, like, X out all the paperwork, terminate everything that was there, like, just X out, and I was just like, yo, I don't even know. So it took that was a long process though, but my whole plan at that point was, like, I wanted to, like, start my own company to have, you know, something to stand on, and then kind of, like, start to get the music thing going. And so I moved back here in Connecticut in 2013. And so since then, basically, I started a video production company, shooting videos, and just kind of, like, kept the music thing going. But I've always just been my own, like, funding, everything all comes through me. So, and that's basically where I'm at with it now. And then,
that's,
you know,
a nice journey right there. I like that journey, man. And it shows, you know, in your art. You know, and you answered the question, because I was gonna say, when I first started following you and I reached out to you, it was I didn't get too much of the music. It was for your videos, your quality, your directing. I'm like, wow, man, like, you know, Rookct doing some things. And then I seen then you just told me about the music part. So you always had basically both of them. You always had both of them with you.
It was just always like, I just kind of made the decision that it was like, I saw in that situation how if you have to rely on somebody else when it comes to the music thing, if you have to rely on somebody else to be putting up the money and doing everything for you, it just wasn't right for me. So it was just like, I gotta build something first that then could, like, support that to be able to happen. So I was doing music, I just never had the money or the resources to put it into it. So I was always just making it. But, you know, just recently, you know, everything has just been going faster. The business has been doing really good. I got a partner, and who's developing an app that we're partners in the office in Milford now, and like we got like 15 employees over there, and we just been like cranking. But now the music thing is coming back now because it's just like now I have what I need to start to get it going, and just like been able to be in and out of New York a lot, so I got a lot of people now that like I do business with already in the industry, so it's a lot easier to kind of maneuver.
Maneuver through the game. And so you already answered the question about the videos, because I let you. I like when people come in and they can just have a conversation. So what I want to talk about is how was it when you actually, because you put in a lot of work. I understand that a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of grind and a lot of hustle before you get to that that place where you at. How was it when you got introduced with more connections as far as working with artists like Ross and Davies and Styles? How was that?
I mean, see, for me, it's just been like you said. It's been such a slow. Like all my connections have come just like one at a time. You know what I mean? So every one of them is dope because they get bigger as they go. But yeah, I mean, the biggest one was Ross recently, and the A Boogie thing was big too. But I mean, it's dope, and it's funny, like with East, like I met East when he was just like, he had like 5,000 followers. He was just rapping. I met him through Scram Jones, who had just like done some music with him and stuff. So I always thought he was dope. Like, I was like, nah, he's dope. So I was just shooting vids for him, like for free, or just for like, yo, post it up, like give me a credit. That's just the time I was at the time. I was just working, but so I know him for a minute. And then it's just like, it was important for me to go to New York a lot, because in New York I would meet 3-4 people at a clip, and then I would end up shooting with all of them. So it was just like it moved faster. But yeah, the Ross thing was cool, like that. The way it all happened, I got to have a face-to-face with him and like the main people that run MMG, and just I got like the first opportunity was just the editing thing for them. I edited this video that they had.
So you didn't shoot it, you edited it?
Nah, they had this footage and they didn't have nothing to do with it. They were like, yo, see what you can do with this, and I ended up chopping it up, and then Ross called me like, yo, killed it. We definitely gonna be doing my work. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And and so once that happened, a lot more people started kind of. But a lot of the connections just happened over the years, and then I kind of found that they all kind of like came together, so that ones were a lot of dots just connected faster. I think this is like once one, like you can't just have one person, one plug. Like people have to see that you're working with other people to be able to feel more comfortable just being like, oh yeah, he's already. It's not like everything that I'm doing for him, he's relying on. You know what I mean? It's just. So,
and you also have to bring like people have to understand that you have to bring stuff to the table nowadays.
Right.
You can't just wait for shit to fall on your lap. I mean, you have to put that work in, build something. Like I think you said it when you was talking about just the whole process of when you met those guys in college. Like you had so much that you brought to the table.
Right.
Your value level went up on another level.
Yeah, because people, money is one of the toughest factors of the whole equation. So a lot of people will sacrifice a lot just to get the money, you know what I mean, or to get funding from somebody. They'll give up a lot, which
or
just puts you in
sign their whole life
it just puts you in a tough position, because it's cool, because then you get the you get the money and you on, but then it's kind of like your business isn't established, right? You're not really, it's not gonna last. So so that was like a lot of it in school. Like, see what's funny is like, so I learned a lot of like in school what is like the ideal way. Like in school I'll be on a shoot and there would be we'd have $200,000 worth of equipment. I got a 15-person crew, like, and so I'm able to do it exactly the way if I wanted to do it by the books. And then it was like when I started my business, I had that. You know what I mean? I just had a camera and a tripod, so it was like I see it all in my head, but it's like, all right, damn, how the hell am I gonna, So that became the challenge, where it was like, the more now I'm just figuring out how to get the best, most cinematic in the under the constraints or the time, because no shoot is ever perfect, and that's the thing I just realized, especially when you're just doing it on your own, or the budget's not there, whatever the case may be. It's like you have to figure out how to make the best possible thing out of what you got. You know what I mean? And so that's what ends up happening a lot of times. Like a lot of the videos, it's like you see the product, but if you knew what had happened beforehand or just behind the scenes, you would just be like, oh my God, how the hell did he even, you don't know that somebody was standing behind me like, yo, you got 5 minutes to get this shot off. Hey, Boogie, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, it's like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, you don't see all that. You just see a dope vid. So back to, so to your thing, I learned a lot of the technique in school, but then it was like actually having to, learn how to apply it. And, obviously I've just done so many videos now, like, that you just, you learn things, a lot of it in the editing, like you learn because you get deeper into the software, you're doing so many things that eventually you just get bored and start experimenting and like, oh shit, that's cool, like, and so, I definitely, like, but I still, like, in my head, like, I'm still trying to do way bigger. So even the stuff I do now is like, every time I'm like, I wish I had this, I could have did that, so I'm still, like, I still want to get a lot bigger with my stuff. Always like, I'm not even close yet, so.
So and now you recently have a new project out. Moving pictures, right? I was looking at the cover and I'm like, I like when people just do different shit. You feel me? Like just not being the same. You know, following everybody all the time. Like, let them go right and I'm gonna go left.
Right.
Describe that. Like, what is the meaning behind the cover first?
Yeah, so the cover, if you haven't seen it, it's basically just a lot of things that mean a lot to me in my video career that are bundled up in like a vacuum sealed bag, which is like how they sell weed. And the whole like kind of double entendre of the project was like, moving pictures is obviously video, like, and then actually selling video, like moving pictures. So it's kind of like the, because I always, like, for me, like, I always listen, like, the music I listen to is mostly like street rappers. And I've just always been into mafia movies, like, it's just always been my, like, like, it's always been my, just like when I think, when I think of, like, even like if I were to direct a movie, it would be that type of movie. So I just wanted to do something that I could kind of, like, it's like, the art of doing videos and music, but with the hustle of, like, that hustle, you know what I mean? So I just kind of wanted to figure out a way to kind of put both of them together.
No, that's wrong.
But there's like all different shit in there. There's like press passes and like all
that's what I see there. Like press pass, camera.
Just all different things along my travels, plane tickets, and all type of stuff like that.
Okay, nice. And one thing that I do like you just said that you like, you grew up on rap music. One thing that I was listening to your music is this, that I found in your music, you express a lot about not wasting time. You express a lot about being positive, and about hustling. Basically working for what's yours. So your message is real powerful. How important is that to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's everything. I mean, it came when I first moved back to start the business. I obviously just wasn't handed mad jobs, and so I had to work to buy a camera to. So I was basically doing a full-time job while starting the company, and then I eventually, was able to just be like, all right, I just dropped the job. But the job I was doing, like, it was like construction type stuff, like it was painting, but from my pops. But it was like he does like commercial, so you're on construction sites all day. So it just showed me that it was like when you do something 8 hours a day that you don't feel like it's what you're meant to be doing, half that time and make double the money doing something I love to do. So I appreciated the, like, if I were to spend just as much time, like, that's a lot of people, if they start a business, they don't really spend 8, 10, 12 hours every single day doing it. Because there's nobody there on you to be like, yo, you have to be here or else you're fired.
Go
work. And so applying that to something where it's like, we're creatives, some of them ain't like that. Some of them just expect things to be done for them. That's where I was able to kind of just, I just work all day, all night. Like, if I have to, I don't care. You know what I mean? So. No matter what happens, if you get fans, you don't have fans, if somebody don't fuck with you for a certain reason, you can always just get back to work.
That's it,
you know what I mean? So there's always another way to, So that's always been my thing. That's just been something just, it's in my blood, you know?
So you have the track, 2 tracks I want to talk about, but the first one, Chillin', right?
That's for him on the hook.
You want to talk about that track, the creation process, and putting it on the project and where that came about?
Yeah, so that I got that beat was done by Doc Strange, his name is, and he's from Florida. It was actually somebody that I had met while I was doing music in Florida, in West Palm Beach, and so he's down there. But we were going through a phase where he was just sending me like just batches of beats and stuff like that, and that beat just Yeah, I had another song
pop,
similar
man.
to that was called Far Away. That was kind of like the same type of vibe, where it's like guitar, it's like got a boom bap feel to it. And yeah, I mean, he sent it through. I don't write, so I got it in the studio and he sent it while I was in there. I just did it. I had the verses for a little while actually, and I had a different hook on it, but I was just like, that's why I never dropped, because the hook was like, I wasn't sold on it. And then he just came in there and laid that shit. I was like, yep, that was what it needed. Ship it out. And so we had dropped it. We dropped it actually a little bit earlier. I dropped a bunch of songs throughout the year, and then Moving Pictures was like pretty much a compilation of that, along with some new songs that I got from features and stuff like that that I put together on. So a lot of people love that song.
How you feel about actually just being on the project? You know,
mean, it's cool. I love being on the project, especially with my man. It's one of a kind. Like, I grew up with him. It's been a long time coming to see him work and do everything that he's done and stay up. Call this man at any time of the day, he gonna answer the phone. He don't ever sleep. So just to see his hustle, his grind for what he wants and what the end result should be for him in his eyes is dope as hell.
Nah, and you're right, because I think when I DM'd you, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning.
I'm telling you.
You answered me back.
I
appreciate that.
Not even at the crib, working.
I was probably in the office.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, that's dope, man.
But yeah, it's cool.
And it's good to have, you know, people like yourself, have a team, a supporting team behind you.
It's the only way.
So yeah, man, that's dope. And another track that I like a lot, I've been playing it for the past couple of days. Is it I think DJ Relly Rail produced it.
Oh, Breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Yeah. So you got some. I like what you was talking about on that track, and then what's his name? Smoke, right? I like the whole project is just y'all bringing music back.
Right.
Like I love it. Like is that
Appreciate
your whole purpose? Like cause there's a lot of nothing going on in music now. You feel me? People just want to throw music out.
Yeah.
I see you putting art in it. Is that really your purpose?
Yeah, I mean, I like to make all different types of music. So like, I think for me, I never got too hung up on I'm trying to be the dopest lyricist or the dopest of I just was always concerned with how can I make the best song. So if it's a catchy song, that's just it's light, it's chill vibes, it's not really nothing too crazy. If that's what fits the beat and that's what's the best overall song and it's something that I want to talk about, then I'll make that type of music. And I also like doing stuff that's that's got the more it's got the sample bass that I could rap on it. So I could bounce around and do different things. I think a lot of it is just on the production. I get swayed a lot by what the beat is telling me to do. But I mean 100% at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, you're always gonna hear something meaningful coming out of what I'm saying. I'm never just gonna have a whole song that's just
putting stuff together.
Yeah, it's just not my style, but not to say I don't listen to it if I'm out or you know what I mean, whatever. But yeah, that's a big thing for me, and I kind of like going back and forth. Even I mess with a lot of just people that are super boom bap hip hop heads. That's not necessarily my lane, but I'll go fuck with them for a little bit and hop on some shit and rap. You know what I mean? Because so I try to kind of blend all the different influences and elements that I'm into.
No, it's dope.
But the best part, not to cut you off, it's just when I show people his music, our music, the stuff that we do, it's just I won't even tell them, all right, this is his song, this is my song, I'm on a track with him. It's just listen to his song and see what you think. They'd be like, oh, it's dope, and it's just they didn't put a whole bunch of da behind the dope beat. You have a song, you have a hook, you're actually talking about something that actually he's done, has experienced in his lifetime. It's not just
nothing.
It's just not just hearsay that everybody's talking about. So I mean, when you listen to his music, when you listen to our music, it's just we have a purpose. We have something that we're talking about, and it's 9 times out of 10 positive. It's a positive track to make your way to the top.
No, that's dope, man. Every track is telling a story. I know. When I was listening to it, I was like, I think it was a track that he was talking about. I think it was about a girl or something. I was like, I don't know if this track is just real about him or he just put this one together. Which one?
What song
I
was
don't know,
it?
what about,
Probably the Motion one that you might have been playing. I think.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you playing with the Oh yeah. Yeah. You really going through the motions.
Well,
Somebody got you going through the motions right now.
Well, see, this is actually a trick I picked up from other artists though, and this kind of fucked me up for a while, and I'm glad I feel like I just started to learn this. Was like, you don't necessarily have to like, say if I do a song about a girl, right?
Yeah.
Like, whether I have a girl and I'm single now,
Yeah.
I don't have to be boxed into. If I'm making a song at the moment, it could be it could be talking about
Another person's experience.
No. It could be talking about a girl. It doesn't necessarily have to worry about my present situation. You know what I mean? So if I say, you know, this and that, the third, it could be something that I'm referring to from years ago.
Yeah.
But it just fit, you know, in with what it was doing. So, so I kind of will take like, you might hear a verse that had 3 or 4 different interactions with females in it. That all kind of, it wasn't all about one girl.
Gotcha.
And that saves me too with I'm like, nah, it wasn't. They can't put it all together.
Yeah.
Don't take it too hard. Don't take it too hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, of course I had, you know, especially when I was in Florida, I was just wilding because it was just, I was an up north dude down there with all the Spanish girls, and I had beefs, and I was just, you know what I mean? I was just, I was 21, 19, so everything here is always, I mean, I was never into saying stuff that wasn't true either though, so if you hear me say something, it's facts.
No, definitely. So now I see you're very well with the music. You know, you're really well with the music, really well with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is your passion entertainment, or do you have a level of, I love to be behind the camera, or I love to write music, or you love them both? Like, what is
Yeah, they kind of, it's the only way I can explain it is it kind of goes in seasons. Like, well, I always love both, but at the heart of it, it's like, I mean, I'm into like cinematography and directing, just like the art of that, like just putting, you know, just using everything, the camera, everything that you see in front of or behind the lens, like just all that I'm into 100. That's if I could film something, I'm usually pretty happy. It don't matter what I'm filming, but and it's equally for making the music and performing it. You know, entertainment aspect is probably where I'm like the weakest end of it.
Oh,
just because I'm not like I'm more of a reserved artist, you know what I mean? So you're not gonna see me bugging out, doing shit for just for hype or doing something to shock people, to get people to. So it's tough because a lot of artists get to, you know, do that. It works as far as getting exposure and stuff like that. So that's something I'm actually working on, you know, tasteful ways to try to like bring shock value or give it. Because I always want people to have a strong reaction to it, whether it's good or bad. It's when you get caught in the middle is when it's kind of like people just kind of listen to it, like, that was cool, and then they never go back to it. So you know, I'm always trying to find ways to like hook people, you know what I mean, to a degree.
No, that's dope.
But yeah.
No, definitely. And right now we're living in a time where there's a lot of shit going on in the world, you know. And I'm talking, you know, violence, racism. You know, there's just we're flooded with a whole bunch of negativity, right? I'm real serious when it comes to uplifting kids, you know. And then I just like what you're doing. Like, is there anything that you can tell any kids out there, anybody, when it comes to just living and pursuing their dream or staying focused, you know, any advice you can give them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, the first thing is, you know, it's a hard thing to do, but the earliest you can find out and figure out what you're passionate about and what you really, really want to do, you know, like, I think a wise way to go about it is like, I always try to think of like, all right, regardless of the money and the nice things and everything and all that, when I wake up, am I gonna be happy about what I want to do? You know what I mean? Am I gonna wake up like, all right, cool, like, and so that's the main thing. The first thing I would say to figure out, like, what do you, because it doesn't matter if you're a job, if you're an employee, you're a boss, if you work here, you do this, you do that. It don't matter as long as when you wake up, you're happy. You know what I mean? You're motivated to do what you want to do. So that's the biggest thing first. Like when, you know, as coming up when you're young, you know, that would be because I wish I came across it sooner, but you know, everybody kind of you gotta go through your path. But once you find it, I mean, then to me it's just about all the elements you always hear. You know what I mean? Work hard, put out a good, quality product that's different from what is already out there, and do it consistently. Just do good business like that. That's what my thing has always been based on. I get it from my father and just from my family. Like, it's just, if you just put out the good, positive energy, try to avoid as much negative shit as possible, and just, integrity, things like that. Just doing honest business. It'll work out for you. Like, it will. You'll eventually, like, I don't feel like, things always, I believe in God, and, he definitely aligns things if you're going down the right path. But at the end of the day, I still felt like I just went through so much bad stuff, like just bad business and dealing with people, that eventually, if you just keep on that path, you'll run into, like, okay, cool, you find one good client, or you find one good person that you do business with, and you just got to keep it chucking from there. It's just, people don't want to do all the little steps in between, all the stuff that sucks, you know what I mean, to get to that one good opportunity. But yeah, I mean, that's, that would be pretty much my main thing, because like, that's, now I feel like I've got that part down, and now it's just about acceleration of that. Like, how fast now can we just move, you know what I mean? But yeah, finding out what your passion is tough, because you kind of got to test out different things, and you got to just, that, especially for kids that are like in Connecticut or just in smaller places. I'm glad I moved away, because it was one of the best things. Just like, just meet different people, you just see things. It just kind of made me grow up a little faster and maybe understand and see, just see different things. Like, when you're here, you're just very, it's tough as a creative in Connecticut, because a lot of, you don't come here to do that. You come here to, like, get married, have kids, have a house, have a good job, which is great. But as a creative, it gets hard, because everybody is constantly low key. They don't agree kind of with what you're doing. They don't think it's really a possibility. It's like, all right, when that gig is up, then you're gonna have to go get a job. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, it don't gotta be like that.
No.
So that's why it's hard here. That's why it's tough. I'm sure a lot of people find out what they're passionate about, but then they don't stick to it.
They don't stick to it. It gets rough, right?
It gets hard, and I see it, because I go to a lot of bigger cities where the energy is there. So it's like, there's a lot of other people that are doing what you're doing, so it keeps you up. And then when I come back here, it's like, I gotta, you gotta keep yourself going. But yeah, man, I believe in doing good business, doing good by people, being honest.
Where do we stand, and what do you think the future is for the hip hop scene in Connecticut?
I mean, to me, we always talk about it. I think it's better than ever right now. It's like probably so, I was gone for a while too, and when I was in high school, I didn't know the hip hop scene in Connecticut. So I knew that apathy was out there, but like Mook and Fair, I heard about a little bit. But now I feel like we have a few people that are out there, like moving, minding their business, just going, like not getting caught up in all the other stuff. So to me, it looks good. Like, I see, especially when I'm out, because I be around a lot, whether it's shooting or doing music stuff, just moving around. And when I start seeing people from CT a couple times, I'm like, okay, that's good. Like, I don't ever see people from CT. So, and like, I just linked up with Webby lately. And like, he's had a whole like new kind of like resurgence with his fans, and like his numbers been going up, and he's just been, he's been moving a lot too. So he's always kind of been at the forefront, really, like at the end of the day. But so now I feel like there's other artists that are kind of right there, doing some things, knocking on the door to, I think the biggest thing is we just never had anybody with a hit, with a song. Like, we never had anybody with a record that was like, it went crazy, you know what I mean? We just never had it.
Coming to
like, especially on like a street level. Like, we've had more people, to me, that have more, kind of been on the other lane of things. So, I know that there's people out there, a few people out there that's doing stuff. So I think it's good, man. Everybody just gotta keep in their lane and just keep going, and we all busy, so working together as much as possible. But really, I'd rather see people just keep going at what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, because you can only, the farther that person gets, the more everybody can be more opportunities all around.
And to make more movements and to make more noise as a culture in Connecticut, so that way we can, because there's so much talent here, there's so much people here.
For sure.
The scene is beautiful, but it's like like you said, that major breakthrough.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't built a foundation where it's like, oh yeah, CT.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Connecticut could do a little bit more adjusting to kind of support, you know what I mean, those artists. I think people, just even with, I think it's tough. One of the biggest things is on like the entertainment side of things, like the clubs and the things like that. Like a New York artist is never gonna come out here, do a show, and then stay out here because it's kind of like, I just go back to the city, you know, like there's nothing out here that's always like
popping.
Yeah, but that'll trickle down from people being, when people get bigger, artists will come out here.
Yeah.
They'll, you know what I mean, and they'll be out and interact. Yeah, exactly.
Network, you know.
So I think that's a big part of it too, is kind of getting that side of it right. I mean, I just feel like, you know, everywhere in Connecticut, you got like the major cities that have like the one or two good spots that you know are always popping, but then it's kind of like sketchy from there.
Yeah.
So I think that could play a role in it too, just bringing more creatives and just more people out this way.
Yeah,
Important that there's other artists that are, you know, further than me, right next to me, wherever we at in our journey. But the fact that if one of them goes, when people start looking at the CT, you'll see, okay, 3 or 4 other, 5 other people that are doing that too. So then they start to take it a little bit more, you know, a little bit more serious. That's how all the cities did it. When Chicago first came in with like 4 or 5 people that kind of were all in the same time, and every region, that's kind of how it happens. So
bang, 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 bang.
yeah, so I think you need a couple people to kind of like all come in. You know what I mean? So
Force them to look at you.
yeah, hopefully that's how it goes.
You know, any advice can you could give our young boys out there, young kids out there, our youth for today, as far as just life, period?
Man, just listen. You gotta stay focused on your goal. You gotta figure out what you want to do in life and just stay focused. That's all there really is to it. You got a passion for something. You stay dedicated to what your passion is and work hard. Like that's all there really is to it. I mean, when it comes to me working with Rookct, like I try all that I can do. I mean, money is everything, so bills are due and everything is due. But when it comes to like us being in the studio and being in there for 4 or 5 hours, like we get it in. We do what we're passionate about. So just stay focused and stay humble and don't let anybody get under your skin and tell you can't.
Absolutely.
So
appreciate that.
No doubt.
Appreciate that. And any shout outs that you want to give? You know, I know there's a lot of love out there.
Yeah. Shout out to my mother, yo, making this all happen, bro. I love you, man. Yo, we here, baby.
Oh man, shout out. I mean, you know, shout out to you know, just even my whole team. I you know, my whole squad, like just everything. That team has grown a lot more, just even in this past year. You know, I brought on a business partner. His name is Chaz, and Go Nation is the app that he's developing, and and we're all a part of that.
And what's that about?
So it's a technology app. He just got funded his first round of funding by the largest investment company in Connecticut.
Oh, dope.
To develop the app. So he's like on a whole nother. I mean, he's hiring developers and he's bringing people in that are, you know, they doing, you know, so we all in the same office, but it's really crazy. And, so yeah, you know, Ray, got Johnny, a bunch of people, man, back at my team. Like I'm just one part, the head, you know what I mean? But I couldn't do it without having everybody in place, because everybody handles they role and yeah. So and shout out to my boy Rich I Am. He's a producer from Bridgeport. So we just locked in and knocked out an EP that's gonna be dropping right at the top of January.
Okay. You working, man. You working.
Yeah, we coming right back, and so he produced the whole thing, and it's fire all the way through. So we excited to drop that, and me and him gonna be rocking out. But yeah, you know, and thank you obviously to everybody. You know, I get a lot of love, man, and that's what I try to focus on. And you know, I just keep my head down and working, man. Like I'm not even like I see it, but it's just more like I'm just kind of like we trailblazing right now. So we in and out the city 3-4 times a week. We like I sleep 3-4 hours a night maybe.
Back to work.
CDs
you know?
right here. Money bags under his eye.
No, man.
But yeah. So no, I'm everywhere, man. Especially in Connecticut, we bouncing around everywhere. We in Bridgeport and we in Hartford. We all around. So, but we based in Milford right now. That's right.
And he got You know, he got that EP out. Y'all can stream that Spotify.
Everywhere, yeah.
That's everywhere.
Anything you get music on, it's
go,
there.
You know, go stream that. Moving Pictures. You know, Rookct.
Definitely.
Official. Good music. Trust me, you can push play and you don't have to do anything else. Just let it ride. Like
one step.
True talk. I'm not even telling you no lie. Like
Appreciate it.
No, and I just want to give a shout out to your manager.
Ray.
You know, Ray, you know, keep me posted, you know, emails, you know, he's on the shit. I love it. Thank you very much.
Ray's the man. Ray will make anything happen.
And I appreciate y'all from just coming down here. You know, I know the weather caught y'all, you know, kind of bad. But
no, we good. We good. Hey, that was late.
Yeah, definitely a great opportunity to have.
Yeah, no, thank you, bro. Appreciate
the
you.
platform, I just built this platform. It's been like 3 months and it's been overwhelming. You know, I just finally said I need to do something for my city. I need to do something for CT. You know, everybody's fighting to get to the top. Now I started inviting these artists in here, and now the emails got overwhelming. So now I'm like, yes, this is what we want. You feel me? Yeah. You know, and it's just gaining and it's growing. So, you know, I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to follow up with you. I'll probably have you back here in another 6 months to a year, you know, and see where you at. Yeah, see where you at then, you know?
Yeah, we're going to be in a whole nother stratosphere. Exactly.
Yeah. There you go, man. So there you have it, everybody. Like I said again, we were sponsored today by Dunkin' Donuts. Shout out to them. And be sure to follow the DMTS Radio page. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Download the free DMTS Radio music app. In the App Store on Google Play, you can find 2 of his singles up there. We have Chillin' up there, and we have Breakthrough up there. And other than that, man, thank you very much for supporting me, and let's continue. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Breakthrough. Lately I've been waiting on a breakthrough. Heard it make you stronger if it don't break you, but I gotta make it happen. We don't get a take two, no. Going for the gusto. And you know I got the blunt rolled up. Baby, come on, smoke it with me. Why you acting like you over me? For what you heard, I'm a boss for real. That with me might have cost the deal. I ain't really gotta fuck with a pill. Kill the pain with the money, my homies all in my will. For what you heard, I'm a boss for real. That with me might have cost the deal. I ain't even gotta fuck with a pill. Kill the pain with the money, my homies all in my will. Some things are better left unsaid. Certain situations should've left that bread. Watching the Bronx Tale, the best 20 that I ever spent. Sometimes people tell you things that they never meant. Guess it's a sign of the times. I'm a lion with mine. Rappers just lying they rhymes. I can't stand it. My respect I demand it. Me and Smoke rolling up. Get the money then we vanish. I remember my mother telling me don't believe everything that you see. My father told me the same thing back then. I ain't know what it mean. I can't be the one you call. I can't be the one you need. I'm sorry, not right now. I got a million places I gotta be. I'm looking for a breakthrough, breakthrough. Lately I've been waiting on a breakthrough. Heard it make you stronger if it don't break you, but I gotta make it happen. We don't get a take two, no. Going for the gusto. And you know I got the blunt rolled up. Baby, come on, smoke it with me. Why you acting like you over me? For what you heard, I'm a boss for real. That with me might have cost the deal. I ain't really gotta fuck with a pill. Kill the pain with the money, my homies all in my will.